Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And we're waiting for the German IFO business data. Okay, 96.1, you can see that right there. Current conditions haven't come out, nor expectations. You can see here the SPOOs are under quite a bit of pressure. 98.9 on current conditions, and we're just waiting for expectations. $93.4. We're going to go and move this out of the way. Obviously, the bigger news is, the concerns with the coronavirus, and has certainly put the SPOOs under pressure. I posted this chart in the chat room. 32.72 at 32.69, the 23%, and we're looking for a stretch down to 32.58. That should be able to give us the gold popping up in here. Bear with me. So we've got some good support here. We'll see if we can press this a little bit higher and see if they can get this gold to push a little bit higher. This is some good support in here. So this, and gold's already been trying to, hold this area and has not been pushing that much lower here. So we're still pressing lower here. Euro is moving up a little bit higher. See if we can spook some people past this 32.58. Gold's now at 1685.80. Put this right here for you. Obviously, we're going to, the webinar is going to be a little bit different because of everything that's happening right now, but you can see this divergence here. And this is what I'd mentioned earlier about my mouse issue with the mouse, because you see this double move here, right there. That was a good little setup for that scalp short. But you can see here we're pressing here. This might be it right here because the SPOOs are still holding up above this 32.58. So we're holding here, so that might be it right there. See if we can slide back down in here. See how we hold there. We'll move this out of the way. And you can see here we're trying to challenge this area here at 32.58. Gold potentially could move even higher here, but we're kind of making a stand here in the SPOOs. I think someone in the room had mentioned 32.52 is I don't know if it was Greg had mentioned that was a 78% here. So we'll see how that holds up here. Gold actually right now on its highs at 1686. See if the SPOOs can go and hold this area. They kind of had a dip in here, kind of trying to make a little hold here. So we'll see how that plays itself out. You can see here we're challenged right here at this 32.58 and have the excuse me, the NASDAQ also down here at 91.64. Bear with me. Bear with me. Turn this down to. Okay. But we're trying to hold this area here. So if we can hold this area, that probably allow that's go back to dip, or if we can break one more lower here, maybe we'll come down here and really flush out and possibly push gold all the way up to 1700. We shall see. But gold actually could be a lot higher than it is right now. Considering, despite how high it is right now, it still could be even higher than that. We'll take a look here on the NASDAQ. There's some key support right there. 91.50, we're at 91.64. We'll see if maybe the SPOOs will kind of try and roll over here. Either way, I mean, gold has just rallied up $4. But, like I said, we talked about this on Friday, how there's been a lot of negative divergence as far as the cumulative volume delta. So we've pushed higher here in gold, but even then, like I said, we could be a whole lot higher here. So we're going to see if this may be an area where the SPOOs are just a little bit too stretched here. And if we get a bounce back, that'll probably allow the gold to go in and drip back down. We're going to move into the currencies. Like I said, a little bit different show today because usually we'll cover a little bit of news. Well, we already know what the news is. Let's see what's going on with the currency market, and let's go on and pull out the bias chart. And it looks like we're getting a little bit weaker here. SPOO's kind of holding their own here. Let's move into really, there's not that much action from what I can see happening in currency markets. I really don't see anything happening, to be honest with you. I guess you could have some selected pairs, but I really don't see anything happening, with the exception of the peso. Look at euro; it's like asleep at the wheel. And pound isn't doing a whole lot of anything either. So not really seeing anything of any real consequence or whatever that I'm seeing materialize here in the FX markets. Focus is really on gold and the S&Ps. Crude oil is hanging like a rock, man. I can't even believe it, man. It's unbelievable. We are seeing the gold starting to slip a little bit here. We need these SPOOs to go on and move up and probably make a run up here to about 3263, although we're not in that page right now. Let's go and move into the currency markets, though. And let's take a look at what we have as far as data. So we had that German IFO out, and let me see, we do have Mexican core inflation, and then here in the States we'll have National Activity Index, which is not a whole lot, and then Dallas manufacturing coming out, and that's it. That's it. So let's move this out of the way. And let's see here with the euro. Says the euro saw a small rebound off the weekly support level of 776 post PMI, which was positively surprised for not being worse. U.S. equities remained under pressure throughout the session on Friday, weighing on the dollar. The start of the week should see further downside test on U.S. equities, allowing a possible move to 957. But we're not really seeing that here with the euro. It's not really responding. Confluencing with 953, which would be at 38%. Initial resistance will be 890. Well, we're certainly not seeing that here in the euro. Now, they did say that the percentage increases for a potential rate cut have increased quite a bit. I don't know what the amounts were, but that being said, we're seeing that, and that may be weighing a little bit on the euro, but the euro just simply hasn't responded very well at all to what we've, the thought may be that it might start to rally and a little bit more follow through, and we're not seeing that. But certainly there's the coronavirus concerns in Italy, which is also weighing on that, and gold starting to dip back down again. S&Ps are starting to move up here, so it almost seems like focus ought to be on that with those markets are moving and not with these currency markets, which aren't even moving at all. Let's go on and take a look here. So we said 890, so we'll go with that 890. Maybe it might move a little bit higher, but it seems a little bit like it would move up higher in light of the concerns with Italy, and they're thinking that potentially we could really see the euro come under some extreme pressure, which should be interesting because after it's already rebounded to a certain extent, and I think we probably have the market's a little bit concerned here, but we'll see how we play out on this. Support. Let's see if we can take a look on the 2-hour chart. It's going to be 807. 807. And let's go moving to the pound. Same here, bump on a log. Cable rebounded from support level 28.42, tagging pivot 29.80. The rebound was a byproduct of the general dollar weakness across the board that should roll into the first part of next week. The pair has a potential to rally to 30.84 on this run with initial resistance at 30.33. It's certainly not showing that, so I think we have to modify that. And our resistance actually is going to be 30.05. And support, once again, have to reflect on what we're seeing today. And it's going to be 28.82. And with that, let's go and move into the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar tested new lows and recovered, closing above Thursday's close, which is a markedly significant achievement after finishing six straight sessions lower. A further rally should find the pair resistance at 66.65, with key resistance at 67.11. Well, we're at the lows. I mean, so once again, these currencies aren't even. I mean, they're under pressure. The Aussie came under extreme pressure. So what we had previously before was 65.28, which is that weekly level. And that's what we're just going to go on and keep right here, 65.28. And on the upside, like I said, these currencies are just doing horrible. It's going to be just right there, the high from there, which is 66.41. So obviously a lot of this analysis is just with the pressure that they're under is basically negating that. And SPOOs are now dipping down to 32.56 now. As they come under further pressure. And let's move on to the Kiwi. see here. It says the Kiwi successfully tested the support level 63.26 confluence with 63.23, the 78%. The pair is exceptionally oversold with only 4 positive days out of 18. To start the week, the resistance is a value of 63.83. Well, the support's going to be down here because it's, like I said, it's under some pressure. And like I said, you can almost throw out the analysis from over the weekend because once again, it almost just doesn't even apply, you know, almost. So so the support now is going to be right there at 62.88. And on the upside, is going to be right there at 63.56, 63.56. And let's go and move on now to the dollar CAD. So the dollar CAD gave back Thursday's gains on the backdrop of general dollar weakness, attributed to the sell-off in U.S. equity. Support comes in at 31.82, followed by 31.57. But you can see right now we're pressing up against these highs again. You see what I'm saying? So that pretty much negates all that. Like I said, you can basically, we're going to start from scratch on all this analysis because it's pretty much out the window as these currencies have reacted and hasn't been much of anything here. So resistance is going to come in at 33.14, okay? And support is going to come in right there. You see right there coming across the line? It's going to be 32.35, 32.35. And let's go and move in now to the dollar peso. Now the dollar peso is really starting to take off, and the key resistance, well, right now resistance is going to be right here at the 1912, right? Actually, I apologize, 1917, 1917. Right there is going to be key resistance. Now there is some resistance there at 12, and I think I'd mentioned that. And the SPUs are pretty oversold right now. But 16 is that key pivotal area. So let's go with that, 1916. Oh no, everything got all messed up in here. Hold on. There we go. And 1916. And support, let's take a look here. It's going to be the 1905. 1905 is that curious. So 1905. Right here. So 1917 is going to be key. And SPOO still coming under pressure, just took out 3250. And let's go on to the dollar yen. And the dollar yen, we're actually finding some buying for the dollar yen here. Let's see here. And that would come in, let's see, we have 1102, and 1102 is key on the dollar yen here, 1102. See here, a little bit of an overshoot. Let's go as low as, well, it's pretty oversold to start with this. So we're going to go with the 1102. We'll stay with that, 1102. I think that we had that marked off as some analysis over the weekend anyway, 1102. And the SPOOs are pretty stretched here. So we're probably a bit of an extreme here. So 1102, and then on the upside, it's going to be right there at 1164. 1164. And let's go move on to the dollar index. So we did see a pretty good sell-off on Friday, but we've come back up, like I said, with the weakness that you're seeing overall with the euro, and a lot of these currencies are all weaker to start with. Resistance is going to be right here on the high, right there, which is going to be 99.63. And that was support before. So it's going to be 99.63 on the high. And support. It's going to be 99.11. 99.11 if we see things start to turn, go south, but it's going to be 99.11. That's going to cover the majors. So let's just go on and move in now to the cross rates. See if there's something more interesting happening in the cross rates, because there's certainly nothing in the majors. One moment. Okay, we've seen this yen strengthen after we got a bit of almost like a hammer bottom, and went to bottom because we weren't at the lows, but I mean a little bit of a hammer. But now we've come under pressure here with the yen strengthening, although we're a bit stretched here, so the yen may not move as low. So we're actually going to call the lows for the support here right there, just below those lows, which is going to be 70.15. And on the upside, You can see it coming right across. You see that previous low here and here, that's confluence in here? It's going to be 70.66. That's going to be the bias chart resistance on this. And let's go and move into the euro yen. Same thing here, sliding quite a bit here. We're going to find support just right here with this volume touches right here, which is going to be 2016. And resistance. Just right here at this level right there. It's going to be resistance 2076. And SPOOs are continuing to sell off. Let's go and move into the euro odd. Which obviously is gaining because of the weakness in the Aussie dollar. That resistance coming in right here across this level here, and that resistance is going to be 64.46. And let's see here. And support right there, the weekly pivot level, 63.41. Let's move on to the Euro Kiwi. Well, you can see they've tagged it right up here, right up that key level, and that's going to be the resistance here. And like I said, pretty much the analysis is out the window with all the different changes we've seen here. But the euro obviously gained against Kiwi because the antipodian currencies were so weak, the Aussie and the Kiwi. But I like this resistance here on this stretch here, which is going to be 71.70. We actually already had 71.69 already in place. So we'll stay with that. And support on the way back down. It's going to be right there at that low. Right there, which is going to be 70.12. We'll move on to the Aussie yen. Aussie yen, obviously, with the yen strengthening, obviously under considerable pressure, and obviously being the Aussie, we're going to actually allow us to give more room. So we're going to go down here all the way to this key level 72.95. With resistance coming in right there with these two touches right there. And you can see that's confluencing with that low, which is 73.82. And move on to the guppy. Well, with the yen strengthening, certainly you can see where that sell-off is coming from here. Support is going to come in right there at 43.33. And let's see here. Resistance right there, that high, 44.16. These markets are moving quick. So like I said, the analysis from the weekend is just out the window. Hang on one. We're starting odd. Let's go into the 2-hour chart. So resistance is going to come in right there, just at those highs right there, which is going to be 96.30. And support coming in right there, 95.46. Seems rather basic, but like I said, with the markets the way they're moving, you're just going to go by the levels. That's it. Taking a look back here, euro is pressing back lower. Not really a whole lot to look at. Same thing with cable. Dollar peso continues to move higher, but remember we've got that 1916 is very key resistance there. And if we move on to the, bear with me, move on to the SPOOs. They've come back lower, bear with me. You can see here we're still pressing lower. We do have a key support level here at 32.39. That's going to be the focus right. That's huge. I thought they'd kind of hold this 32.58, but 32.39 is absolutely huge here in the SPOOs. Nasdaq still under. I think we had 91.40 as some key support. Yeah, 91.40. Yeah, key supports. We'll see if we can hold this area. We're really overdone here. You can see the cumulative volume delta is diverging a bit here. So we'll see if they can make this pushback up higher, and then the resistance comes back up here at 32.58. I'll see if they can move that here. And also taking a look here with the crude oil. Finally starting to press a little bit lower here, but surprisingly, the crude oil has held up very, very well overall. Very well. And taking a look here with the gold market. You can see here, we're still pressing up here. But it could be obviously a lot higher. We'll see if we can hold here in the SPOOs and make a challenge back up here. Like I said, you may see the gold going and slip back in a little bit further here. But SPOOs continue to remain under pressure. They got just above here, and actually I guess they made it right up here to this level here, 32.54, and then they've kind of run out of gas, and we're testing this almost like a double low. I think if we were to dip down to 32.39, that would pretty much clean things out and probably send the gold up here to 1,700 here. Bonds are way up here in the stratosphere. I saw someone say that the ultras were limit up, so we'll see how that goes and plays itself out. Once again, take a look at the data. Right here, German IFO came in at 96.1, but like I said, pretty much a lot of this stuff is out the window while we have that coronavirus scare, and gold's trying to push right back up again. The SPOOs are dipping a little bit lower here. So we're going to see whether that can push back further out. Mexican inflation report in the morning, a little bit later on, National Activity Index, Canadian wholesale trade, and Dallas Fed manufacturing. But obviously all those take a back seat to what's going on with the coronavirus scare. We're starting to see a little bit of a dip in here, a little bit of move back up in here. We'll see whether that matriculates into a little bit lower move here in the gold market. But obviously they're making another pushback in here. So we'll see if they cleaned out the lows here. If there's no follow through, you see how we're seeing the cumulative volume delta kind of slide back in here. So you're getting a little bit of divergence. So with that, we may go on and see this go on and move off here, and gold may go on and dip a little bit here. We shall see. We'll go back into the FX page. Euro's not doing anything here. Absolutely nothing. Dollar still holding steady. Dollar peso, once again, like I said, that 1916 is going to be absolutely huge. Dollar peso, I mean, not dollar peso, but dollar yen. Yen's still strengthening a bit here. And cable is dipping back a little bit further. We do have support on cable at 28.82 right there. And that's about it. That's all we have here. But hang on to your hats, and we'll see you in the chat room. Thanks for joining us here on the European Crossover webinar.